The European Trade Union Confederation is a trade union organization, established in 1973 to represent workers and the national affiliates at the European level. Its role has increased as European integration has expanded EU influence on economic, employment and social policy throughout the 28 member states' constitution. At present, the ETUC membership comprises 89 national trade union confederations from a total of 39 European countries, and 10 European industry federations, covering some 45 million individual trade unionists. Other trade union structures operate under the auspices of the ETUC, EUROCADRES and EFREPFERPA. European Trade Union Institute is the independent research and training center of the ETUC. The ETUC defines its policies independently through its Congress and Executive Committee. Congress determines the organization's general policy. It takes place every 4 years and is attended by delegates from national confederations and European trade union federations. It elects the members of the Executive Committee, the President, the General Secretary, the 2 Deputy General Secretaries and the 4 Confederal Secretaries. The last Congress took place in Paris in October 2015 and adopted a program of action for the 4 years until 2019. Luca Vicentini is the ETUC General Secretary and Rudy de Leeuw is the President. Veronica Nielsen and Peter Scherer are Deputy General Secretaries. Lee Inakar, Esther Lynch, Montserrat Mir-Rocker and Thibaut Weber Confederal Secretaries. Operations. The ETUC's mission is to bring about a united Europe of peace and stability, where working people and the families enjoy full human, civil, social and employment rights and high living standards. To achieve this, it promotes the European social model, combining sustainable economic growth with ever-improving living and working conditions, including full employment, social protection, equal opportunities, good quality jobs, social inclusion, and an open and democratic policy-making process that involves citizens fully in the decisions that affect them. The ETUC regards workers' consultation, collective bargaining, social dialogue and good working conditions as key to achieving these objectives and promoting innovation, productivity and growth in Europe. The ETUC exists to represent the European trade union movement at EU level. It works with the other European social partners and the European institutions to develop employment, social and macroeconomic policies that reflect the interests of workers throughout Europe. The European social dialogue has brought many results, notably the adoption of some 60 joint texts by the interprofessional social partners. This process supplements the national social dialogues existing in the majority of the member states. The European dialogue, which is now structured within the governance of the Union, allows the social partners to make a significant contribution to the definition of European social standards. The consultations between the social partners began in the mid-60s within the consultative committees, the Permanent Committee on Employment and tripartite conferences on economic and social questions. However, it was in 1985, with the launch of a bipartite social dialogue, promoted by Jacques Delors, the president of the Commission at the time, that the social dialogue at the community level evolved into a genuine European negotiating forum. The evolution of the social dialogue process has gone through 3 stages. During this initial period, the bipartite activities culminated in the adoption of resolutions, declarations and common opinions, which did not have binding force. 2. The second stage was opened with the signature on the 31st of October 1991 of an agreement between the social partners, which was subsequently included in the Protocol on Social Policy and annexed to the Treaty of Maastricht in 1991. Thanks to the Treaty of Maastricht, the agreements negotiated by the European social partners could have binding legal effect through a Council decision. In 1997, the 1991 agreement was written into the Treaty of Amsterdam. In that context, the European social dialogue led to the implementation of 3 framework agreements via Council directives. 3. The third stage began in December 2001, when the European social partners presented a common contribution to the Laeken European Council. In accordance with the 1991 agreement, this last stage was characterized by an increase in the level of independence and autonomy of the social dialogue. Since 2002, the ETUC has further expanded its role in EU-level industrial relations, promoting the development of an autonomous social dialogue between workers and employers' representatives. The social partners have concluded autonomous agreements on telework, work-related stress, harassment and violence at work, inclusive labor markets, a framework of actions for the lifelong development of competencies and qualifications, and a framework of actions on gender equality. These are implemented by the social partners themselves at national, regional and enterprise level. The social partners' current multi-annual work program runs until 2014. The ETUC is the main counterpart to the EU institutions when it comes to representing workers at EU level. Together with the other European social partners, the ETUC works with all the EU governing bodies, Presidency, Council, Commission and Parliament. Its right to represent the interests of European workers in the formulation of EU employment, social and macroeconomic policy is articulated in the EU Treaty. The ETUC takes part in the annual tripartite social summits, draws up the trade union response to European Commission proposals, liaises with a cross-party intergroup of MEPs in the European Parliament, coordinates trade union participation in a number of advisory bodies, including the Economic and Social Committee and the EU agencies for vocational training, improvement of living and working conditions, and Health and Safety Agency. At the biannual meetings of the Macroeconomic Dialogue, established in 1998, the social partners discuss economic policy with the EU Economic and Financial Affairs Council, the European Central Bank, and the Commission. The ETUC also pursues its campaign for social Europe through direct action, such as Euro demonstrations, and other campaigns. In this way the ETUC takes a lead in important social and employment issues of relevance to all Europeans. ETUC-affiliated trade union organizations maintain their own decision-making procedures. Delegates from the member organizations decide ETUC policies and activities at European level democratically, and the ETUC itself does not have a mandate to impose a line on national confederations. The ETUC also has its own democratic structure. The ETUC coordinates the activities of the 44 IRTUCs, which organize trade union cooperation across national borders in the EU. The ETUC is recognized by the European Union, by the Council of Europe and by the European Free Trade Association as the only representative cross-sectoral trade union organization at European level. Presidents and General Secretaries